Hi everyone. Welcome back to Let's Make a Better World. This is going to be part of a probably several part series as part one. I want to talk about the campaign work I've been doing for Harrison Waltz for president. They're running in the Democratic Party, as I'm sure you all know. Um, I just think it's really like essential in this election that Harris wins this and that we keep Trump out, as I'm sure you guys all know if you've watched my other videos on this channel on the presidential race and on Trump and on Harris. But I just want to talk about the work I've been doing in this regard. I've actually been out campaigning, and I'll talk about that in a minute. First, I want to show you a picture of the presidential map. This is the current projections. I got this information just a few minutes ago. This is, the map based on current projections of how people are planning on voting, and as you can see, the red states are the ones that are pretty much definitely going for Trump, which I guess amounts to 200. What is it? 122 electoral votes, and then 193 are definitely going towards Harris. It looks like. I mean, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. I think this whole millennium we've had these red states and blue states, which are pretty certain to go red or blue, Republican or Democrat, respectively. I think you guys probably all know that the coast tend to be very Democratic, and the middle of the country tends to be very Republican. But there's also a number of battleground states. Swing states are also called. These are the ones in beige, um, light beige. And that includes the state I'm living in right now, Nevada. You can see Nevada on the left right next to California. It's got 6 electoral votes. It's a small state. But this could potentially make the difference in this election. Any of these swing states could go either way. And like I said, Nevada's a small state. We don't need too many votes potentially that could determine the election. It could come down to Nevada, and 6 electoral votes could make the difference. Even if it doesn't. I'm really glad I'm doing this, because I think it's really, really important, like I said, that Harris wins this thing. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure she does. I kind of feel like my conscience won't allow me not to do this. I'm so passionate about it. But anyway, I just want to show some personal pictures of what I've been doing the last week or so. Here's a picture of me at the Democratic headquarters I've been going to. Somebody made a little cardboard cutout of, drawing of Kamala right there. I'm standing next to her under a palm tree, which is kind of nice. And obviously, it's not really her, but kind of like posing with her cardboard cutout. But what's even more exciting was the work I've been doing. And what I did 2 days in a row, I've been what they call canvassing. They have all these different volunteers who are doing different kinds of work campaigning for Harris. I did 2 days of canvassing, which means knocking on people's doors. They asked us to, other people had done some phone calling to find out who people are planning to vote for in Clark County, which is the county of Las Vegas. Las Vegas, as you guys probably know, is the largest city in Nevada. It's a very large city if you include the whole metropolitan area. I think it's around 3 or 4 million people. Um, and the people running this thing first called about 50,000 people in Clark County and found out who they're planning on voting for, and then they gave us lists. They came up with these lists of who's planning on voting for Harris, who's planning on voting for Trump, and who's undecided. And then the next phase of this was to have us go knocking on people's doors, and that's what I did. And they gave us these lists. They gave us neighborhoods around 30 or 40 houses. And they gave us lists of the people to talk to. These were all either people that said they're planning on voting for Harris or are undecided. They don't want us to go to any Trump people, which I understand because most of them are pretty set in deciding to vote for Trump. and it's probably pointless to try to convince them not to. But they said we could really have an impact, even with the people that said they're planning on voting for Harris or they're not decided, especially the undecided. That's pretty obvious. We're just supposed to sit down and talk to them about the issues. Have a nice, friendly conversation with them, if possible. Ask them what issues they're passionate about. Maybe it's the economy. Maybe they're worried about prices being too high or not. Having a reliable job. Job security, whatever. And then try to discuss the issues with them in an intelligent way without, lecturing them, just having a friendly conversation and telling them reasons why we think Harris is a better choice. And I think for most of you guys on this channel, it's pretty obvious, but to a lot of people, it's not. So just got to try to convince them, which is what we've been trying to do. So I did this for 2 days. It was a little discouraging. I've never done this before. I've never actually knocked on people's doors, but I did it 2 days in a row. I was a little reluctant to do it at first because I don't really like solicitors myself, so I felt a little funny about soliciting other people. But, I did what they wanted me to do. They had an app they had us all download onto our phones. That gave us a map of where all the houses were, the addresses, and the names of the people that live there that we're supposed to talk to. And we went around knocking, I mean not knocking, but ringing their doorbells. Most of them don't answer their door. At least for me, they didn't. I think that's pretty typical. I was told by some of the other canvassers that I think 3/4 of the people to whose doors we rang don't answer their door. Not to worry about that. Some of them aren't home, some of them are. They just don't want to answer the door. But the people that do answer, we have a little introduction like, "Hi, my name is David." I don't give out my last name. I say, "I'm out here, campaigning for Harrison Waltz. And do you have a few minutes you'd like to talk?" And see if they do. And those who were for Harris, at least for me, they were very friendly. They were perfectly willing to talk to me. And, even if they say they're planning on voting for Harris, we're still not really done with them. They told us because, we want to get specifics. They might say they want to vote for Harris, but maybe they're not sure if they want to actually go out and vote. So we have to kind of ask them, where and when we're planning on voting. Did they get the ballots? And one nice thing about Nevada is they send out ballots very early. I already got mine. I haven't voted yet. I'm gonna vote early. I think the earliest I can vote is the 19th. I won't be able to do it on the 19th because I'm going to Cleveland this weekend. I'm going to a wedding reception. My cousin out there. But when I come back, one of the first things I'm going to do, I'm coming back on Monday. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote next week. I promise you guys, I am going to vote. I want to vote early. I want to make sure my vote goes out. And I'm going to put it in a box myself. I'm not going to trust the mail system. I'm going to actually physically put it in the ballot box. Then I'll know my vote will get counted. I kind of urge you guys to do the same thing. We can't be too careful these days. And yeah, that's what we wanted to, make sure these other people we're talking to are gonna do. I mean, without pestering them about it, just ask them when they're planning on voting. And the people who say they're for Harris, they're perfectly willing to do that. And they told us that they're 7 times more likely to actually do it if we ask them about the specifics. So they know this, they know what they're doing. And the undecided people, they're probably the best people because if we can convince them that Harris is a much better choice, then we've gained a vote for Harris. So I didn't feel I ever really did that. Most of the people that said they were undecided were kind of rude to me. They just didn't want. I'm new to this. I haven't done this much, but I'm doing what I can. Maybe I'm not the best canvasser yet, but at least I'm glad I did it. I did it 2 days in a row. Second day was kind of scary because I was in a pretty pro-Trump neighborhood, but I didn't talk to any pro-Trump people. But still, there were a lot of people outside doing yard sales and stuff, and they were pretty rude to me. No politics, they saw what I was doing. Uh, I don't know. I'm learning. It can be very annoying sometimes, but I'm glad I'm doing it anyway. And that's not all. I mean, the most exciting thing for me so far about all this is, I've been meeting a lot of very nice, like-minded people. I've gotten some contact information from a few of them. I made a few good friends just in the last few days doing this, and it's just great to be part of a community of like-minded people all working for the same cause. I know the feeling because I've done this before. I love being politically active, especially at a time when it really matters and involving a cause that really matters. Because I've done this before. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I've been to 4 political demonstrations. I'm sure I'm going to go to a lot more if Trump wins. Um, Maybe even if he doesn't win. But anyway, I guess I just have to talk about the rest of my pictures I want to show you. This is the picture of the room. This is a picture of the headquarters. You can see it's a pretty big room. I mean, I think there were about maybe 50 or 60 of us in this room. And they had us give out flyers of people on the right side there, the workers here who were kind of the clerical workers preparing all the flyer packets and all that. And they were very nice. They gave us coffee and donuts for breakfast. They gave us some Krispy Kreme donuts and the real pleasure of all this, I think the highlight so far for me, like I said, I've done this for 2 days so far. I actually got to see up close two very famous politicians. I don't know how many guys recognize this woman. This is Jackie Rosen, or is that Rosen? That might be Amy Klobuchar. Yeah, I saw two very famous politicians. I saw Jackie Rosen, who's a Democratic um, uh, senator from Nevada, and she's very popular here, and she's a big proponent of Harris, obviously, and she's also a very good politician herself, and she wants to do a lot of reforms right here in the state of Nevada, state politics. And Amy Klobuchar, she ran for president in 2020, last election. I don't know how many of you guys remember her, but she was running in the Democratic Party. She didn't win the nomination, but she ran and she was there. And we got to hear her speak, and I even congratulated her when she was done. And there's a picture I got of her up close. I was only about 5 feet away from her. I said, "Great speech." She said, "Thank you." I shook her hand, and then I took her picture. Looks like she's posing with another woman there. But anyway, I got to meet both Amy Klobuchar, and I didn't talk to Jackie Rosen, but I took a picture of her. So anyway, I'm proud of the work I did, and I hope you guys are too. And I'm gonna do a lot more. There's only 22 days left until the election, and let's just make do everything we can to make sure that Harris wins this thing, because I don't even want to think about what's going to happen if Trump becomes president. Anyway, so that concludes my video. Thank you guys for watching. Let's make a better world, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.